Hello and welcome to another Good Game Empire video. This is the second part of the PvP series, and in this episode I will be talking about the equipment, especially about Relic Castellans and Relic Commanders and how to combine all the elements to get a decent or a maxed Castellan and Commander. But let's maybe start with the topic of equipment generally. So we have different kinds of equipment. Starting with the different rarities of the equipment. So first kind of rarities is like rare, epic, legendary, all of the stuff which you can get from robber baron towers and from some kind of missions. So this is the basic equipment which cannot be used to actually make good attacks against other players, but it can be used to make some special kind of commanders. You can, for example, try to have a demolishing commander which has a 5% chance of destroying enemy buildings, or putting up more fire damage when you win, or some other kind of bonus to honor points. For example, this is one of my commanders, which is not the relic equipment kind of commander. You can have a faster commander, or you can have some without a cost of movement. If you, for example, need to send 1 million troops, which cost a lot of coins to do this regularly. But we're gonna talk about the relic equipment today. So the blue equipment, which is by far the most used equipment in the game. There is a few decent sets for PvP when it comes to the unique sets, which give you bonus according to how many parts of the set you have equipped, but they're not as strong, and we're not gonna talk about them because we're already leaving this era and we're joining the new era of the relic equipment, and this is what you should focus on. So starting on, we're gonna talk about how to get the relic equipment, because you need to get it, of course, and this is not that easy. I mean, it's pretty easy, and I'm gonna split this to like two separate parts. So the first part is how to get the equipment without making any purchase and using rubies, and the second part is going to be how to get relic equipment using rubies or money. So obviously with the non-ruby equipment, with the free to get equipment, you're gonna get a bit worse equipment, Castellans commanders without maxed stats. Like without maxed, all of the stats maxed, like you can get some of the stats maxed and the rest is going to be only decent. But with Ruby commanders and Castellans, you can get them to maximum of every statistics and get them the best of the best available in the game. So we're gonna talk about both of these kinds of equipment, and first how to get the equipment and later how to combine it. Okay, so the first source of equipment will be the quest book, where in the event quests you can find quests for every event. So for the Nomad, Samurai, Berrymont, Bloody Crows and Foreign Lords, all of these events give you a special mission which you can complete, if I'm not mistaken, 9 times per event, and they will reward you with the undefined equipment, the relic equipment. This isn't too powerful, this is actually pretty weak equipment, but as a starter you need to have something rather than nothing, so it's already a good point to start. So to complete these missions you always have to donate coins and make some score in the event. So for example, with glory events you need to get some glory. With token events like Nomad or Samurai, you need to pay to donate the calendar medals or Samurai tokens, and you can get the rewards. Later you're going to get 5 of these items, still of this pretty low rarity, but it's very relevant for new players who need a lot of this equipment. Okay, so the next step to get equipment for free using only your coins from the account, you can do this in the Alliance Smithy. So when you go to and open your Alliance window, it's the second tab from the bottom, and here you can forge some relic equipment for coins. You can also do this for rubies, and it's gonna be higher quality. And also pay attention to this chart, because this is a perfect place to get knowledge about the rarity and quality of the relic equipment. So this is exactly what I was talking about. As you can see, the standard ratings are the non-ruby equipment, and the premium ratings are usually a ruby equipment, but sometimes you can also get them for making some scores. I'm gonna show you later the premium rating equipment. So obviously more stars and higher level of rating in this chart means that the statistics are going to be better, with the level 1 being the worst and the level 7 being maximum. Okay. So it's not that worth it to make it for rubies, but you can use this smithy for gold. So you can try to forge a few times. You can get either NPC or Castle Lords, Commander and Castellan gems or items or heroes. So you can get all kind of equipment. If you're not satisfied by them, you can instantly sell them for the Relic shards. And talking about the Relic shards, they are used to upgrade the equipment. I'm gonna show it to you at the end of this video. But right now you need to know that you can sell the Relic equipment if you don't need it for Relic shards. They are super useful in the game. Okay, so this was an example. We can try another time. And for example, we've got a Castellan against Castle Lords, and this is actually for a newbie player a pretty decent Castellan because you're getting nasty bonuses like recruitment speed. I mean, it's totally random, so I'm not gonna pay too much attention on what I've got here, but it's pretty random. It can be, as you can see, in range from level rating 1 to 3, so without any silver and gold stars. Okay, let's move to another one. Okay, so also a great source of Relic equipment is Master Blacksmith. So with the recent changes, it's not that great as it was before, but it's still relevant and you can get good equipment here. So the best things to get there are actually gems. The usual equipment is better to get, in my opinion, from the missions, but when it comes to gems, it's not that easy to get cool gems, and here you can get them with pretty nasty stats of 2 silver stars, and that's already very good. You can try to even get a maximum Commander or Castellan with them, but anyways, the gems for 2875 are the best option here to buy. So you can get here a Castellan against Castle Lords gem. It's free random effects, but when you have a lot of gold, you can buy plenty of them and pick some better of what you've got. And you can also buy it for the Commander for Castle Lords. It's pretty good item to buy from the Master Blacksmith. You can also get heroes, and they are pretty good. It's very nice to have at least one of this kind. You can get it for 50,000 gold. Or alternatively, this for 24, you're getting one random bonus instead of the basic resource, which is also food bonus production, but it's still very good choice. But hold on, there is even more options, because as the Relic equipment was introduced to the game designers were making a lot more ways to gather this equipment, and right now we have a lot of ways to get the equipment. So here we're getting only the NPC equipment. I'm not gonna talk about this in this episode because this is about PvP, not about NPC, but well, you can get only the NPC equipment here in events like Nomad or Foreign Lords. But there's a very cool event called, in general, a collector event. So there's plenty of different kind of this equipment, this event. But the main idea is to collect some points from other castle lords as special attacks. And if you win the attack, you get some points. They also get multiplied every day. And for having points at the end of the event, you're going to actually get some equipment. And this is also 2 silver stars. And it's especially shown that it has pretty decent statistics. So for the Castellan Castle Lords, this time we're getting this strength for units stationed in outposts and landmarks, as well as basic resource production and public order bonus. This is a very good item. You actually cannot get it for free from other sources, so this is a great event to take part in and to get great rewards, especially for free-to-play players. And the other part is the Commander Castle Lord Relic Hero. Here we're getting later army detection as well as strength in the courtyard, so it's very good already. And the horse strength when attacking, also pretty good if you don't already have the mid units, because there is no hero bonus for mid units. Okay, so the last way to get equipment for free-to-play players is actually Outer Realms. So inside the event, when you go to the management of the event, at the fourth tab of daily duty, you can make the daily duty quests. So they based on the defeating robber barons as well as looting other castle lords, and you get the duty points. And for these duty points, you can get rewards depending on how many you've collected. So it's pretty easy because you need 40 for all the rewards. They combine. You don't get only the highest, you get all of them if you complete all of this. So you need 40 points to complete all, and you need to defeat 10 castle lords to get 60. So it's very, very easy. And here we're getting not only the construction and upgrade tokens, but also, as you can see, random gems. So they're not, at beginning they are random, but later they can get you bonuses for the Castellan as well as the Commander. So firstly, you're getting the courtyard bonus only and 2 random, and later you're getting courtyard, melee, and ranged strength for Castellan as well as the commander. So it's pretty okay. It's not that strong because they don't have silver stars, but for a free-to-play player, it's going to be a pretty good reward to combine it into a decent Castellan or commander. Okay, so now we're talking about the Ruby versions of gathering the Relic equipment. So the first option is to get it from the special offers. The only one which is strong enough for Ruby players is this for 400,000 rubies. It's okay, but I think it's kind of overpaying, because if you use it, you don't need to combine to actually think how to put it together, because the pieces are actually, when you put them together, they're already nearly max. You need to upgrade them and you have a max Castellan. But in the cost of not having knowledge how to combine the items, you're having to pay away more rubies. So the second way is the Wheel of Unimaginable Affluence. Here you can get equipment, relic equipment from spinning, as well as from getting it from jackpot prize. So for jackpot, it depends on the jackpot level. It can be silver or gold. So I think only at the last level, which requires about 350 tickets of affluence, you can get the golden equipment, which is maxed already. So you can get random as well as equipment, and it's very good source. Most Ruby players get most of their relic equipment from the Wheel of Affluence because it's the best way to spend money on right now. I mean, these packets for decorations, build items, and tickets. Anyways, this was the second way. So the third way is you can actually buy it in the bestseller shop. So the bestseller shop with decorations, with the decoration for 5,000 rubies is the one with equipment. When you scroll down, you can get some equipment. So it also fits perfectly when you buy 4 of these gems. You get all the stuff you need to get it to max after upgrading. But it's mostly usual and useful when you're missing, for example, only one item, and this item in the bestseller perfectly matches your requirements. So it's pretty cheap. Sorry, it's not cheap. It's very expensive. It's not the best way to spend rubies on equipment, but it's also pretty decent choice if you need only one piece to get your Castellan perfect. So the last way to get, and also the worst way to get it for rubies, is the equipment trader. No, it's not even worth mentioning, but so I did, and yep, it's very expensive, it's very weak, and I don't suggest buying any stuff here. If you ever find them in any promotions or stuff in the game, well, the bestseller is way better. Okay, so now as you have learned about how to get the equipment, I'm actually going to show you how to combine this equipment to get decent Castellans and commanders. So first of all, it's very useful tip to press the attack button, not make an attack, but go inside the attack at legendary level player and start composing your commander here, because as you can see, you can clearly have a look at all of the statistics of the commander here, and it's way easier to have it right there over than the overlook of the statistics in the window of the equipment. So we're going to use slot number 31 for this example, and I'm going to show you how to first make a commander for non-Ruby players and later for Ruby players, because there is difference in what you can achieve in using like Ruby and non-Ruby equipment. So with non-Ruby equipment, which is way weaker than the Ruby equipment, you cannot get every statistic to the maximum. So you're going to try to get the maximum statistics of strength of melee units, ranged units, and courtyard. You're also going to try to have as high as possible units on the flank limit, and that's all. But for the Ruby equipment, you're going to try to get all the statistics maximum after also upgrading. So also, it's not worth upgrading non-Ruby equipment, because you're eventually going to get the Ruby equipment for like special events, or even without paying, you can get it sometimes from special events. So anyways, you shouldn't upgrade the non-Ruby, but you should upgrade Ruby. Later about this more. And we're gonna start with the equipment. So the first part is going to be the four basic parts of the equipment: artifacts, weapon, armor, and helmet. And for a non-Ruby, for a free-to-play player equipment commander, with this equipment you're going to achieve the most important thing, which is 120 by 120 melee and ranged. So you can actually start with the weapon, which has the basic statistics, and this is also worth mentioning. You have the basic statistics, and you have the like changing statistics, let's call them. So for example, for the weapon, As you can see, at the bottom you have the melee and range bonus, but at the top you have army travel speed, but this one has mode protection at the top. So this effect is going to change for every weapon, is going to be random. But the both effects on bottom of this list are going to be the like permanent statistics for all of the weapons. But the top one is changing. So you need, this is like the main point of this equipment and combining it. So let's start with something which already has the melee or ranged. I'm using here Ruby equipment, for example, of non-Ruby because I don't have any non-Ruby. But this is how it works. You need to have the melee and ranged at least 4 times in this changing effect. So let's start with the weapon. Later let's find something with ranged. For example, we don't already have full ranged, so we need to have 120. We don't. So at this point with non-Ruby you're going to get like maybe 95 or something. So you still need to add one piece of equipment for both ranged and melee with your equipment. As you can see, I don't have any helmet probably over there. Well, yeah, I don't have any. Okay, after easy removing the gem, I have the equipment. So as you can see, it reached over 120. This is the maximum value. This is super important. And the artifact actually has 2 changing effects. So you can have, for example, in addition to 2 times melee and ranged in this equipment, you can also have, for example, -2 wall protection, -2 mode, and mode is probably the best thing to go. So wall or mode would be the best thing to go. For example, here we need also a bit of melee, and let's try to find something useful which goes together with melee. For example, this item with melee and wall protection. So it's a bit over the maximum, but with non-Ruby equipment you're going to get like 120, 125 maybe. So this is what you're looking for. And later let's pick a hero. So a hero with non-Ruby is going to be a hero which has the courtyard strength and later army detection. This is the basic statistics, and it also should have a mode reduction or wall reduction. This is the useful things when it comes to the commander for non-Ruby. For Ruby it's the same, so it's just a matter of lower statistics. Also try searching for the phrase of, for example, when you see a commander against not events but castle lords. Yeah, let's just put it lords over this search box, and you're going to see only commanders which can be used against castle lords, because it's very hard to pick between the event and non-event, you know. So this is only the PvP commanders, and I think as an example this is going to be good. So we have this strength in courtyard, we have later army detection, and for example the wall protection reduction. Okay, so let's apply this one for this commander, and at this point we can take a look at it in the attack window. So let's pick the number 31, and as you can see it has 120 by 120. It also has the 15% courtyard from the hero. I have some Beyond the Horizon build items, so don't pay attention to them, but it's necessary to take a look if you're not missing any important factor I mentioned before. Okay, so now we can go to combining gems, and for non-Ruby commander you're going to focus on having 150, so 120 is the basic from equipment, and when you use any gems it's maximum 30% from the gems for melee and ranged. So we're going to focus kind of a bit more on the ranged units, but also not forgetting about their melee units. So we need to focus on ranged and melee, as well as the strength in courtyard, not of castle lords, just the strength of courtyard, which maximum is 80%. So for example, from the Outer Realms event you're getting the courtyard bonus, melee and ranged gems. They are pretty useful. As well, you can put here lords to only see the gems suitable for PvP commanders. Obviously don't use the NPC ones because they are not designed for PvP and they don't have any bonuses for PvP combat. Okay, it takes a while if you have a lot of equipment, and I made a typo so it will take even longer. Well, this is all the equipment for PvP. So when it comes to non-Ruby, you're going to see mostly like 2 or 3 blue stars without any silver, sometimes maybe silver. This is mostly my gems are ruby, because I'm spinning the wheel sometimes and stuff like that, so I get a lot of ruby. But I'm going to try to combine non-ruby gems to make this commander work anyways. How you should do this with your non-ruby commander. So starting with a pretty small bonus of melee and ranged, but a huge bonus of strength on courtyard. So sometimes you need to use 2 gems of courtyard, sometimes you need to use 3 gems with bonus of basic courtyard, but you always need to get it to 80% or 77, 8, 9. It needs to be as close as possible to 80, and also focus on ranged and melee strength. Okay, so let's go on and find a second gem which has courtyard strength, also melee and ranged. So this is actually a similar gem. We're going to get maximum courtyard, and we're going to get 20 out of 30 needed of melee and ranged. This is not too bad, but it's going to be pretty hard now to find the remaining bonuses needed. So we already have the courtyard maxed, we already have decent amount of melee and ranged, but we are lacking a very important bonus of, we can't even see it here because we have none, the limit of units on flanks. So flank unit limit when attacking, we also need that. It's very hard to get the bonus of strength in courtyard of castle lords with the gems for non-ruby commanders, so I'm not gonna focus on this in that example. Right now we're going to search for something with ranged, melee, and the units limit on the flanks. So I'm going to make a short cut here and show you what I've come here with. Okay, so it was actually a few minutes to search for suitable gems, but I found a solution. So it's not easy to find correct gems to make the commander pretty nasty, especially with non-ruby. So I added a gem which has the strength in courtyard and both the flank units when attacking and when attacking castle lords. So it gets us a lot of flank bonus and the strength in courtyard a bit, as well as the ranged unit limit bonus, the strength in courtyard, and I am actually getting over the maximum. I have 120 and the max 80, but this is a common situation with the non-ruby equipment, because you're very often getting the gem with 30 something courtyard, or basically the courtyard when attacking, and you're very rarely getting the gems with range strength or flanks unit limit when attacking castle lords. So I've used it to max out at least range to 150 and have some units on the flank. It takes a while to compose a commander, it's not that easy. You can try to sometimes search for gems also in your remaining commanders if you have a lot of them. For me, for example, I need to make total demolish everything and try to make it from scrap again. But anyways, as we can take a look at this overview, it has 140 melee, 150 ranged, as well as 86 plus 15, so it's gonna be 101 percent of the courtyard bonus, not counting the my beyond the horizon bonuses, and 24.9 actually unit limit when attacking. So it also has the horror strength when attacking bonus, and it has higher wall protection due to the hero bonus, as well as later army detection. So this is actually everything a decent commander for a non-ruby player needs to have. It has a bit higher bonuses that you're gonna get because I didn't have any non-ruby equipment, unfortunately, to show you. And now we're gonna move to the ruby commander. So kind of easier is to make a ruby commander because you're having everything with high bonuses, you just need to combine the bonuses. So here I've come up with a very useful tool. So as you can see here, I'm using an app called Microsoft To Do, so you probably also have this on your Windows computer. And to get the best score out of the Ruby commander, you need to first start with the equipment and later gems. So this list is going to be very useful for gems. I suggest to you also to make this, so when you're picking the gems for commander, you don't need to put them on and later to put them off, which costs you 2000 relic shards, and this is such a waste of relic shards to remove the gems when combining them and trying to get the right combination of 4 gems. This is not easy task, so I've come up with this solution for this, of having all of these bonuses listed and just mark them. If you have the correct gem, for example, with these 3 bonuses, you mark them and you continue your search for the rest of the bonuses. So anyways, I'm gonna hide it for a second And let's start with the like basic equipment, not gems. So you have in total 5 bonuses which are changing depending on every item. So for the weapon, it's the 1 bonus, in this situation is gate. For helmet, it's also 1 bonus, in this situation range. For relic armor, it's 1 bonus as well, it's mode here. And for the relic artifacts, it's actually 2 different bonuses, 2 changing bonuses effects. So it's wall protection as well as the melee unit strength. So what do you need to have in these 5 bonuses? You need to have melee, ranged, wall, gate, and mode. So you need to, in 5 bonuses, you need to have these 5 things. So again, ranged, melee, goat, maybe not goat, but gate, wall, and mode. And when you have them, you're not going to get 120 by 120, but this is how Ruby commanders work. You actually don't get the maximum statistics. You need to upgrade this commander to get maximum. But this is the cost of getting the maximum in every statistic possible, because you're gonna get everything max. This is not the max commander, I'm sorry, I don't have any, but this is as close I can show you. So you're going to get, for example, 28. With the gold gems, you're going to get 28. You're going to get 116, I think. So you need to upgrade it in Technicus. Later about this in the video. So you need to upgrade it, but starting with, you're going to get all this equipment with 1 melee, 1 ranged, 1 gate, 1 wall, and 1 mode. And also the commander hero for Ruby compositions is the same. You just need to have the strength in courtyard, later army detection, and wall protection reduction or mode protection reduction, as well as the horror bonuses, because I think this is the strongest units which do have the bonus on the commander. You can get them from bestseller, etc. So it's the best option, but you cannot mind it if you have a lot of mid units already. So now we're going to dive into the gems part, which is the most exciting and the most challenging part of composing a commander as well as a Castellan. So I've come up with this solution. You can mark the the bonuses you need, and if you have already got. So what you need on the gems is actually 2 times every bonus available on gems, not counting reduction of the gate and the wall. So the bonuses on the gems like gate and for example here minus 5.4 wall protection of castle lords. This is completely useless, so you need to totally avoid when making Ruby commander. When actually making non-Ruby, it's also pretty such a waste of bonus, but with Ruby commander you need to use each of your effects in each of your gems to get the maximum statistics after upgrading. So you cannot allow yourself to use any wall or gate protection bonuses. As you can see here, I have one because I don't have any suitable gem for this place, so I'm waiting for getting some perfect gems for this place. Anyways, you need to have 2 times every bonus, so 2 times unit on the wall. This is for Castellan, but it works the same. 2 times unit limit on flanks against castle lords, 2 times unit limit on the flanks, 2 times courtyard strength against castle lords, 2 times courtyard strength against any target, 2 times ranged bonus, and 2 times melee bonus. So with this you're going to get 150 by 150 by 100 courtyard, and maximum also 20 from the hero, as well as 50% more units to the flank, and 140 to wall, 140 to gate, and 100 to mode. Also adding the bonus from your commander, so you can get even beyond this. So this is the way to compose your bonuses. This is how the special offers for example 400,000 rubies are made. They give you each of gems, you get 4 gems, so every gem has 3 bonuses, so it's in total 12 bonuses, and you're actually counting all the gems, you're getting 2 times every bonus possible. So this is how the perfect commander is made, and later after this you need to upgrade it. So the same way goes for the Castellans. For non-Ruby, you're going to focus a bit more on melee, because usually you're in most situations you're going to use most of your melee units on the wall and smaller amount of ranged units on the wall. But when it comes to the courtyard, it's more useful to have the range strength, so you should balance between them, maybe sometimes allowing to have a bit more melee than ranged if you can't get them both max. So for non-ruby, in a shortcut, you need to pay attention to melee, later to ranged. You need to have 80% of courtyard from 2 or sometimes even 3 bonuses in gems. And you also need to pay attention to units, soldiers amount on the wall. So this is all the bonuses you need to pay attention. You don't need to pay attention that much to, for example, strength in the courtyards when defending against castle lords. It's pretty hard to get this bonus to a decent amount with non-ruby items. Sometimes you even can't get any of this. And when it comes to the hero, you need to have the super important thing is to have the earlier warning about the attack. So when the attack comes, it's actually plus 90% or plus 80 something in non-ruby, which means like you're actually having another watchtower of level 8 or 9, which is superior for your defense. And as the relic commanders have the opposite bonus of later army detection, you just need to have this, because without such a bonus of earlier attack warning, you're going to see the attacks like 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes before they come into your castle. It's already too late to ask the alliance for support, so you need to have this. This is the most important out of the Castellan hero, as well as the strength for when defending main castle for main castle and kingdoms, because this also works for kingdoms, and when you're composing a Castellan for outposts or landmarks, you need to have the bonus strength for units stationed in outposts and landmarks. The second important bonus, the third, because this was the first was early attack warning, the second is strength for units, and the third remaining bonus can be the moat protection or the wall protection. They are both very useful. From my tests so far, the moat protection, when you have to choose, the moat protection is a bit better and gives you less losses on the wall. So it's a better choice if you need to pick between. So as I said, for the non-ruby Castellans, you're going to try to get out of the gems. You're going to try to get more melee than ranged if you can't get both into similar high value, and courtyard to 80%. This is the basics, and later you're going to focus also on units on the wall. It's also very important to get 120 by 120, same as I have shown you with the commander. So you're going to overlap over the maximum with making non-ruby commander, Castellan, but you're going to get it very important. When it comes to the ruby Castellans, you're going to have one bonus of each per the equipment. So for the bonuses which are changing with every piece of equipment, for example, the Relic weapon for Castellan has the bonus changing bonus at the top. It's only one bonus changing, and 2 are the permanent bonuses which are not changing, which is the melee and ranged bonus. And as you can see, the changing bonus here is the ranged units strength. Over here also the helmet as well as the artifact, they both have 2 of changing effects instead of helmet having 1. So the helmet has 2 and the artifact has 2. So you need to have each of those. I'm going to tell you 1 per changing bonus at your equipment for a ruby Castellan. You need to have ranged, melee, moat protection, wall protection, gate protection, and also for a ruby Castellan you should have the resources lost after being loaded. This is not that important, but when you're making a perfect, so you want to have every statistic maxed out, it's going to make it easier because you're not going to overlap some other statistics. But if you have one, for example, non-ruby piece, this is the way to go without this bonus. But usually you're going to have out of the changing bonuses, 1 resources loot being smaller, melee, ranged. Over here we have gate, moat and wall, and the rest is always the same, so you don't have any you can't change them. And when it comes to gems, it's the combining of 2 of each bonus, kind of bonus. So units on the wall, castle lords, units on the wall, courtyard for castle lords, courtyard, ranged, and melee. So 2 of each of these bonuses, and you're going to get very close to the perfect, like maxed out, but you're not going to get the maxed Castellan. You're going to need to upgrade it. So let's go now to upgrading. You can upgrade your relic equipment when you build up the Relicus item, not item but the building. And later when you build it, you can navigate to the equipment tab, hover over this tab and pick the Relicus enchantment. And here you can find all of your equipment, relic equipment, ready to upgrade. So upgrading the equipment gives you plus 0.1% of each of the statistics. If you have a gem applied, you can pick if you want to upgrade or enchant the selected item or the embedded gem on this item. So you can do one of this. And as an example, let's go for my Castellan and try to upgrade it. Also a very useful pro tip when you're searching for any equipment in your inventory. Like here I have like, I know, 300 or 400 of these gems and stuff. So a very useful thing is to take a look. For example, my hero of my Castellan has a 240 bonus to recruitment speed, so I can put 240 actually in this place, and it's going to show me only the equipment pieces which have some bonuses which have exactly 240. If you have, for example, I know 34.3, it's going to show you every piece of equipment which has exactly this amount in the bonus. This is actually the most common from the outer realms, so you usually get this amount. But anyways, back to my Castellan hero. When you go to the enchantment, it costs you 2 currencies. It costs you the relic shards you get from selling unused relic equipment, and it costs you coins. There is also a chance of like success, same as in Technicus. So when you succeed, you're going to get 0.1% on the equipment. You can also make the premium enchantment. There is 100% chance. So it costs you rubies, and in my opinion, it's pretty much a waste of rubies. So don't go for it. Maybe at the top levels, like there's 10% chance, and you're going to statistically waste like 30,000 of shards or something. Maybe then it's useful, but it's not generally useful to upgrade items over plus 25, maybe 30. 30 is the highest limit. Like going over 30 is going to be pretty much a waste of the items, and usually with good enough ruby equipment, you don't need to upgrade them to plus 30. You're going to get the maximums with plus 20 or 25. Okay, so this was everything from today's episode. This was the second part of PvP guide. If it was useful for you, you can leave a like. If it wasn't, you can leave a dislike. You can also comment this video and give me any tips on further like making of videos. I'm going to put any further information in the video description, so you can read it as well. Maybe if I forgot to say something in the video, I'm going to put it in the comment section and the description of this video. I'm very sorry if it was a kind of slow video. Like you probably know, English isn't my primary language, so it isn't that easy to explain every mechanics in the game, especially if I'm not usually working in the English environment of Good Game Empire, so it's not that easy for me. But anyways, I hope that you learned a lot of stuff on making the equipment for war. So good luck to you, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.